you guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Annette. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we are going to continue on our series Jewelry 101, and we're going to start creating some new videos for you. And these videos are going to start with the basics of creating an earring. Then we're going to move to create a bracelet, a simple bracelet, and then we're going to move to create a simple necklace. And from there on, we're going to grow to create 2 strands, 3 strands, pearl necklaces, and different things. And we'll move on to my regular videos. So you guys can grow as fast as you want to, or if you want to take it slow, you can go video by video. But each video for every week from now on will be specifically on one thing. If we're creating earrings, we'll do 2 or 3 samples of different types of earrings that we can create. I'll show you how to create a loop, a wrap, things like that that you are going to be using on future techniques for more elaborate jewelry. So it's important for you to start slow, and it's that time. You guys have the basics. You know the tools, you know the findings that you need to use, you know the sizing, and in the middle of the videos I'm going to show you a couple of additional tools or maybe items and materials that you may need just to make it easier or more comfortable for you while you create your piece of jewelry or your design or your long necklace or however you want to do it. So I really hope that you have been enjoying these series. If you have any questions, you can leave them down below. If you have any comments, if you're loving this series, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, don't forget to hit that ring bell beside the subscribe button to be notified of future videos. Now let's get started. Okay, you guys, so let's begin with the video. As you know, I will post it somewhere around this video, but you will need your basic tools, and I have them right here with me. And you will also need 2 head pins, 2 beads of your preferred choice, 2 round beads, at least 3 millimeters, but your preferred choice again, and 2 ear wires, which you can use whatever you prefer. And if you haven't seen the video and you're asking and curious about these containers, it's from my bead storage tray, and I'll link it somewhere around here so you can see it. So let's begin. The first thing you're going to need is 2 head pins for this first earring that we're going to create. And I'm going to try to use, this is a glass painted bead that I found. It was so gorgeous, had all those colors, I just couldn't resist. We are also going to need 2 beads or spacers, and these I am going to use, these are silver plated. I'm going to need 2 and 2, so 4. There we go. And we're going to need 2 ear wires. I'm going to use these 2. It's summer, and I love these because they have like a little shell. You see that? Look, let me show you. They're great. They're going to look great. Okay, so now that I have all the beads that I need, oops, I have an extra bead there. The first thing I'm going to do is I am going to grab my head pin. I'm going to put my 3 millimeter bead or spacer. And the reason I'm using the 3 millimeter is because this hole right here, it's small enough to where when I put my head pin, this flat end is not going to go through the bead. So that's important to know. Otherwise, if I put it through this hole right here by itself, sometimes this head is not big enough and it will just go through the actual bead. So to avoid losing my earring at some point, then I just put an additional bead in between. So let's do that, and one at the top. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is, just as a you're going to use your cutters, your wire cutters, just for you to have an idea. You're going to cut it to where it's maybe 1/4 inch to create a loop. But if you're not sure how much that's going to be, I usually put from the bead all the way up, and I just use my plier to measure that, or you can use your pinky to measure that, but it's somewhat of that distance, maybe half an inch. If you're not experienced, do half an inch, and if you have a little bit of an extra big loop, then that's okay. And then we're going to cut, and when you cut, try to remember to cut always down or to hold your piece of wire, that way it doesn't fly away anywhere. And because this is just wire, we're just gonna trash that. That's something you're not gonna use again, it's too small. The next tool we're gonna use is the round nose pliers, and this is how you're gonna do a simple loop. So you grab the head pin somewhere around 1/4 of an inch here where it's flushed, like I'm not gonna get stuck if I put my finger through it. You see how it doesn't come through flushed. And then I'm going to twist to where that's the loop that I just created. Now that loop is going to be open, so you're going to have to go in again with your plier and close that loop, okay? And that's how you close it. Now you see how this loop ended up being just sideways? To fix that, I'm going to center that. I'm going to put my pliers in the middle, and I'm going to bend it back a little bit to where my loop stays exactly in the middle. And you guys, I know this blue mat is distracting, but because I want you to see what I'm creating, if I put a white mat, you won't be able to see that. So you see the loop? That's what I want you guys to see. See how it's centered now and it's completely closed? That's all you need, okay? So there's my first earring. Let's do the second one, and we're gonna put 3mm bead or spacer. We're finding, like we've learned, first your bead, then again the spacer, and we're gonna get our wire cutters. And again, if you cannot measure it, don't know the measurement size, or if you want to be very specific, you can get a ruler and then cut it, but that's a lot of work, and all I want is just to measure from here to here, and that's where I'm going to do my cut. Again, when you cut, make sure you cut down to your mat so you don't get no flyaways with the metals. We're going to grab the head pin right here where it's not poking me, it's not coming out, and we're going to twist all the way in to make sure we close it. And because it's not centered, we're going back in with our round nose pliers. We're going to center that loop, and we're going to close it as tight as possible. So you have to work with it to where it just creates that perfect loop. And if you don't think it's quite there in the middle, shift it a little bit, and there you go. There we have it. So that is our second earring. Now, how do you put them inside? I have to explain something, and I like using these ear wires that they open on the back because they are more secure for my jewelry. The next thing I do like is that it comes, this opening right here, you take your flat nose pliers, and remember the way we did the jump rings, forwards and backwards, right? That is how you're going to open these. See how that opened there? Do you see that? Perfect. And then you're going to put your earring. Okay? And we're going to close it. You got to make sure it's back in the middle there where you need it to be. And there's your finished earring. Look how beautiful that looks. Isn't that pretty? Let me make a little close up here so you can see it. See how beautiful that turned out? Perfect loop, perfect earring. Let's do our second one. Again, look for the opening. Usually these have it at the top. With your flat nose pliers, move it to the side where you can see the opening there. Can you see that? Put your earring through, close it, and there you have it. Okay, so these are the first pair of earrings that we're creating. Okay,
that took us, what, 5 minutes to create? Super simple, super fast. I'm going to put them right there. Okay, then I'm going to put again my pliers. I like to have them stacked here just like that because I'm very picky. I like to have everything on hand. Okay, let's do another pair of earrings. Now this time I'm going to create with the gold ones. I'm going to do a different one, and this is going to be kind of a night look, and I'm going to need 6 because what I'm going to create is going to be a it's going to look like if it was like Cascade. It's going to have more movement, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. It's going to turn out beautiful. I need 3 beads and I need 3 head pins. And these head pins, sometimes they just bend, so you can fix them with your hand, or you can grab your flat nose pliers and just fix it and make sure that they're straight. Okay, so you can do that with all of them if you want to. Me, I just warm the wire with my hand, which is usually what you do, and then it just sits straight. Okay, okay. Now here, we're going to encounter the same situation as before. If this end right here is not big enough, what's going to happen is that when I put it through here, it's going to go through the bead. Did you see that? I'm sorry, I think I was off camera, but look. If I put it through here, it's going to go through. See that? Which means that for the project that I want to create, and this is great that this has happened to me. I thought I picked the right head pin, and this is the incorrect head pin. This head pin is a gold-plated head pin that I have, and it's very thin, it's very dainty for very small beads. That's why the head is so small. Look, I hope that you can see that. Let me see. If I put it in between my fingers, you can see that. Can you see that? You see how small that is compared to the regular ear wires. I'm sorry, the regular head pins, that the flat end is a little bit bigger. So this is great that happened to me. I am going to change this head pin, and I'm going to go and get the correct ones, which is great. This is why I love this. Close it, put it in there, put it back in the box, no problem. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Now these are the other head pins I have, which the head is obviously bigger, if you can see that. I need 3 for one side and 3 for the other. Okay, now let's see if this will fit through here, and if it's still big, then we're going to have to make another adjustment. Check that out. Perfect. See how that's not going anywhere? That's what I need. Okay, you always have to check, measure. Okay, so now that I have 3, I want them to be dangly, and I'm going to give them some space with these head pins. So I'm going to cut these head pins to the specific length. So I have 1 for each ear. And I'm actually going to leave, well, that's too long. I'm going to cut these. And I'm just going to cut maybe a quarter of an inch, that much. I want to do that for both. I cut one first, then I cut the other one. So there's my first 2 head pins. The next one I'm going to do a little bit shorter. So let's say there, not much shorter, but and I'm just eyeballing it, and you can see the sizing right here when I put them on the mat. And then this one's going to be maybe 1/2 inch shorter. There we go. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them hang like on a cascade form. This is going to be really cool. Very simple. Very easy variation. Okay, let's grab the first bead with the first head pin, put it through, and again, I'm just gonna leave all this space. I'm sorry, I was out of focus. I'm gonna leave all this space and I'm gonna create my loop up here. So for this one, I use already my cutters, and I'm just gonna grab at the tip, making sure nothing is coming out. I'm gonna go around and create my loop. There's my loop. I'm gonna straighten my loop here, making sure it's completely closed. And there is my first bead. I'm gonna do my second one. I'm gonna do the same, put it in, making sure there's nothing coming out. And then I'm going to make sure my loop is completely closed, that there's no gaps there. There we go. That's my second one. And my third one. Put it in, nothing through. Close my loop, straighten it out, make sure it's completely closed. There we go. That's my last one. I'm going to do these three same way. These are going to have like a negative space, is what I was trying to say before. They're going to look pretty cool. They're great for night. I think they're great for daytime too, but maybe a little bit more sexy or something. Or cute, you know what I mean. There we go. Second one, and then the third one. And the way I'm going to put them inside my ear wire is exactly the same way, small to big. There we go. We have it, all three. Now I'm going to grab my ear wires, which I am choosing the same ones that I chose for the silver tone ones. They have the little shell. Now here's the tricky part. If I feel like these three are not going to fit in here, I'm going to have to put a jump ring. But you know how I'm going to know? By testing it. Like jump rings, forward to back, so we can open the space. And I'm going to start with the longer one, which is this one. It goes in, the medium one, and the smallest one. Well, all three seem to fit, no problem. And I am going to close. Now look at that cutie. Tell me that is not elegant and beautiful. Look at that. Very simple with that negative space there. Those earrings are so cute, so simple. Okay, let's do the other one. Open it. Bigger one first. Middle one. Small one. And we're going to close this. There we go. And there's your other earring. We have two gorgeous, beautiful, elegant earrings that you can use. Very lightweight. Very, very lightweight. Okay, you guys, here is the second one. And we're going to do one last one. So let me put my tools back again here. That again took around 5 minutes. 5 to 6 minutes. That didn't take so long. So let's do our last one. And our last one has, I'm going to use these beads right here that I have. They're like Moroccan beads. And again, I'm going to use my ear wires and my ear levers. So let's do. Now here we have a variety of beads. And I'm going to put some of them here. Now here we're going to get a little bit more chic and elaborate a little bit more. So let's say that we're going to create something a little bit more elegant and long. So you want something a little bit more elegant. I'm going to say we should use this bead. We should use this bicon right here. And we need something like in the in-between of them. So how about we do these three together? How about that? I think that's going to look beautiful. So we're going to do that one, this one, and then we're going to do a bike on here. Okay? I mean, you can do different variations of it. We could definitely, instead of this one right here, we could definitely put something like this. How about that? How about we do that one? I think that's going to look gorgeous. Okay, and this is just, you know, you can pick and choose and do whatever you want, but I think that's going to look beautiful. So let me put the rest of my beads in here so I can start my project. Okay, so we're going to create this right here. But what I'm going to do is these two are going to be together, and then this one is going to be the dangly piece of the earring. And how are we going to do that? We just did it. We're just doing loops. So we grab 2 ear wires per earring, okay? Ear wires, head pins, ear wires are right here. It's just I have them in front of me. I apologize for that. Okay, we have these 2. And the first one we're going to create is this one. Now, this hole is big, so I want to make sure that when I put it in, it's not going to go through. Otherwise, I'm going to need a bead back here. So this is not going anywhere. So for this one, we're going to create a loop right here. And you're going to have to cut this because this is going to be way too long. Okay. And we're going to use our chain nose pliers and we're going to do our loop. And I want this loop to be a little bit bigger, meaning I'm going to move in a little bit more to create the loop wider. There we go. And I'm going to center that loop as best as I can. There we go. See how big that turned out versus the other ones that were small? Okay, that's what I want. I want that one there. Let me close this right. And I'm going to do the same one with the other one. Oops, wrong hole. Here we go. That one fits perfect in there. Let me try from the other side just in case. Yeah, that's perfect. And we're going to cut this one. Again, 1/4 inch. And we're going to loop it in. And I want to find a little bit of a more bigger size to create the loop on this chain nose. There we go. There we go. Okay, perfect. So I have 2. Now these right here are going to have a loop at the end and a loop at the top to hook it to the earring. So what do we need to do? We need to cut this head pin right here. And I'm going to take my wire cutters, and you see how it's flushed on this side? And it has a concave, I think is what you call it, a divot going in. So we're going to take the flat side and we're going to get it really close there to the end like that. We're going to put our finger in there and we're going to cut. And that's what's going to come out. Just a regular head pin with no head. I'm going to do that for both. I don't want to waste anything. So I get really close to the top. Now we're going to create our first loop. And this one doesn't have to be big, so I want it to be smaller. Okay. And this one, you see how it's open there? I'm going to leave that one open. I'm not going to close it yet because I have to put this bead in here. So let's do that again. Remember, flush. There we go. And I'm not closing this. So I'm going to put this bead through here. And now I'm closing this. Like we did before. We're closing it, okay? There we go. It's closed. Perfect. Now that I have this one, let me create the other one. I'm going to put it in through. And I'm going to close the head pin or the loop. Okay, so we have it in there. It's not going anywhere. See how it dangles? Perfect. Now here is where I'm going to put my other beads. There goes one, and here's the second one. And this is how my bead, look how gorgeous that earring turned out. We're not done with it, so we're gonna cut here, and I want this loop here to be small. I want the bigger part to be big and the smallest things to be small. So I'm gonna leave at least 1/4 inch, okay? Because I want that loop to be small. There we go. And then I'm gonna grab my round nose pliers, and I'm gonna do almost to the tippy top, and I want to loop it. And why do I want that loop to be small? Because I want this to be as dainty and elegant as possible. Okay, so there's one. Let's grab the next one. I'm going to put this in next to my bicone. I'm going to cut it to where I leave just 1/4 inch. Okay, I'm going to grab my chain nose pliers so nothing is going through, and I want to close it as close as possible. And now I want to start putting it on my ear wire. Okay, so we're going to open the earring front to back. We're going to put in our, this is like a chandelier earring. Okay, I'm going to do the same with the next one. Flat nose pliers, flat. Today I'm so confused. I can't even think straight. But this is great. Okay, guys, check this beautiful, beautiful earring. I'm going to move all these little chunks that we cut, that we have to get rid of. Look how gorgeous that is. I want to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. Look how gorgeous that turned out to be. That's very elegant and dainty, and all you had to do was create a loop. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's just picking the right beads. So we have, let's bring all of our earrings over here. Let's bring them all. So we have from the very simple earring that we can use daily, look at that, and it's still elegant and beautiful, to this, I'm going to say night kind of day, having fun with the earring and these elegant pairs of earring. That is just so beautiful. So beautiful. Well, you guys, this is it. This is the end of the video. I hope you really enjoyed it, and if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them down below. I hope that you are enjoying these videos and that they are as exciting for you to create as they are for me to show it to you guys. Until next time, God bless.